All right, coming about interesting facts, we've been talking about International Women's Day, and this fell on the 8th of March.
Yep.
And it was just a very interesting day. Different people celebrated it differently.
Yes.
And one such an organization that celebrated it was PACT. PACT held this specific event in Salima where they got a chance to engage in women in fisheries. So the question is, how did they engage them on this specific day? And also talking about issues of biodiversity, how do they correlate with gender itself? So we spoke to the Deputy Regional Director, and this is what we brought for you.
PACT through Refresh project with USAID's support aims at improving marine biodiversity in the lake fisheries in Malawi. The gender aspect is very important to this project in three parts. First, because women are an integral part of the supply chain of fish in Malawi. Second, women's empowerment is very important for household and societal empowerment. And third, women's participation in decision-making around the fisheries industry is also important. So we work hand in hand with the community leaders, the government, and other partners to ensure that the women are at the center of every work that we do through the Refresh project. And today, through the International Women's Day, we want also to commemorate this day with the women by especially showcasing the gains that they have made collectively as women, but together with men, in removing the gender bias and ensuring that the fisheries industry is equitable. I am very impressed and I'm very happy with the great work that the women have been doing. They are no more just on the sidelines of the fisheries industry, but they are at the center. They are owners of fishing, processing, and selling points. So that is very powerful for women. But what's even more powerful is that these women have attracted men to join them, because women empowerment cannot be by women alone. These two genders depend on each other. So the fact that the men are also fully supportive of this initiative is really powerful. The Refresh project is moving very well, and we are thankful to the government of Malawi and also to the other partners, but more to the communities themselves for being part of this process. Over time, we're seeing stronger bylaws and stronger compliance to bylaws at village level. We are seeing traditional leaders and chiefs being part of this process and ensuring that the fisher practices within their localities are complied to. We are also seeing a reduction in monofilament nets and more adherence to nets that have been approved by the government, therefore ensuring that the fish are able to grow, there isn't overfishing, and there isn't residue of plastic or monofilament nets down in the seas that can continue to harm the fish. So we are really looking forward to continuing this work. As we move ahead, we want to strengthen the beach village committees through the leadership of the district fisheries officers to ensure that the bylaws are known by everyone, and ensuring also that there is continuous empowerment of the communities in understanding that everybody has a stake to ensure that fisheries industry and fish remain safe for Malawi.
Well, Daud Samute is Gender and Youth Officer at PACT, and we went on to interact with him to really figure out why they decided to incorporate this gender aspect in their project. What were the ills that were taking place in these areas that prompted them to move in this direction?
Among other issues that were identified in the pilot of this project, there was a gender analysis that came out, and it identified various gender issues that are really taking course in these areas, right, in the fishing communities. And as we went along, we really identified certain key areas that we needed to intervene in, right? So there are these issues that are happening there, one of which I can give an example of sex for fish. This is kind of a transaction that has to take place when fish levels have depleted in Lake Malawi. Like people that have to come and purchase this fish, there is that demand is high and the supply is really low. So for women to be favored in this kind of situation, they have to exchange their purchasing of fish with sex with the fishermen. So this is also an issue that is big, and in terms of gender, this is one of the critical areas that has to be looked at. So that was just one of the examples of various gender issues that are happening when it comes to fisheries. So in fact, today we are here at Nguo. We are commemorating the International Women's Day with Mwala Gender Group. In fact, some of the issues that we are tackling here is that we are trying to look at how women, one of the things, I'll mention of course a couple of things that we are doing, and one of the issues is that we are trying to diversify the income sources of these women that are here, so that when the fish levels have depleted, they should be able to also engage in other activities, right, that are not really fish related, in order to minimize their vulnerability to sex for fish, for example, right. Also, we are looking at involving other solutions, that can really connect women to better markets. For example, we would really intervene using maybe ICTs and other alternatives, that should reduce the distance that women have to cover to the markets, to reduce the costs really that are involved, so that we also minimize the vulnerability of women when they are taking this business, right, when they are involved in this business.
Nkhani imeneyo komanso mwina tinapeza sompata ndikuyankhula ndi achair lady adelaro akutifotokozera mwina zambiri kuti nkhani za genders komanso ndikuzawo zimene amapanga za fisheries zikugwirizana bwanji, ndipo iwo pa nkhani za gender athandizika bwanji.
Masiku ano sokhala chete chifukwa anthufe tikupanikizika kwambiri mu dziko lino, chifukwa kuti timangodalira azibambo okhaokha silimafuna azimayi apite patsogolo chifukwa cha ulesi kapena mphwayi kapena mwina kutenga zono kuti amuna anga chiyonse amatithandiza, koma tizidziwa kuti ana kapena bamba amatha kumwalira ana omavutikana nawo. Pachifukwa icho tinayamba kupanga gulu lija kusonkhana kena kunono tisamakhale chete kumangoyankhula nkhani, tinawuzana ngati ife ya gulu kuti tisonkesana ndalama pa mwezi 1000 for mapanga pa 15 ndi pa 3500 titatero napezekana kuti tinamposonkhana namejeta chuluka ndinawo zitazimayi kukuyeneka kuti panopa kuti tikhale gender amene ena simadziwa again tikalowe pa nyanja titapita konzathu kumene kunyanja kumene tinapindulirako kunyanja chifukwa nzathu amapita m'madzi kukapha somba. Ife timapeza mwayi wogula tikagula somba zija timapezekana kuti timapita nazo pa thandala tithandizika amuna ndi azimayi kukoza tonse somba. Tikatero mwa mmodzi mugulu athu amapita kuntunda mwaichonso atatakakhacho titaphunzitsana tinapezekana kuti azimayi ena kapena azibambo ena momwe manena kuti inenso mafuna apandika tamakapanga geni koposa kusiyana ndi gulu. Ndiyeno tinapezekana kuti mugulu muja azimayi iso ena anati makongoza ndalama ka 50 ka 100 azimayi anamba sokapanga business paokha ngati pa gulu kapena tinoti ngati makomo mwawo. Ndiye makomo awo anapindula ndikuona kuti sona osa akulimbikira panopa akuchilimika, ena akugula malo, ena ali ndi njinga za moto, ena ndi business ena ngati machera mu gulu momwemo. Izozo ndipeza makisa kuti ife azimayi tipite patsogolo kapena so samakhala okhalira ngati boma la Malawi tizikhala anthu olimbikira, chifukwa chena kuti tikakhala chete anthu ambiri atichenjera mukudziwa masokana azibambo athu ndi ochenjera amakafunsa zomwe azimayi ena iwe chifukwa kuti ulibe inacho sichochita umakapezekana kuti iweyo ukukhumata kwambiri chifukwa kuti ulibe chochita mu nyengo imene ija. Komanso ife ngati mugulu mwathu tinapindulamo pokhani ndalama imene tinayo kashi panopa ndi 250,000 tinagula njinga imene tili nayo mugulumo, komanso tinakozanso malo ngati opangira somba zithu ngati bayala chifukwa tikalero timapanga land tinalibe chochitira kupanono tikhaendiza athu ndama yathu isamaonongeke. Ndikatero ndithu ndemakai pamenepo sikoma.
Tsopano tinachezanso ndi amfumu omwe anakambapo za mbali yawo iwo kuti achita mwamtundu wanji kuti athandizire azimayi amenewa pamene akuchita ntchito yawo yausodzi. Kupatula chimenecho amfumu anso anayipatsa moto pokamba kuti afuna nsomba zawo zizigulisidwa nazo ku malo ngati South Africa. Ndetimve kuchokera kwa iwo kuti akuti bwanji kwenikweni.
Mwambo menewu kapena kuti project imene ndiyofunika kwambiri kwa ife kuno kwa Senior Chief Maganga komanso Salima yonse. Pempho limene tikufuna tipemphe kuboma komanso dziko lonse la Malawi kunena kuti timalakalaka tindi khumbo lonena kuti somba zimene zikuchoka pano pa Nguo zitha kumakafika maiko osiyanasiyana ngati South Africa komanso Africa yonse timati somba zimene zichoke ku Malawi. Ndi maganizo athu ndithu ali choncho khumbo limene ndali nalo. Nkhani ya nkhanza ndithu ife ngati mafumu tikuonetsetsa ndithu kuti nkhanza zichepe mdziko la Malawi, kuti mzimayi azitha kumasuka pochita business kumulola komanso even ngakhalenso kunena kuti azimayi ndi azibambo zikhala pamodzi ndithu kuchita chinthu chimodzi ngati mmene zilili lero pano kuno kwa Senior Chief Maganga.
All right, issues on the ground. I think that's just that's a brain a brain idea. I would call it that. I was about to mix my words up, but ndinkani zoti I think muna kawiri sitemagamba komanso ma rights anthu amene amapanga fisheries, because fisheries kuyamba tikamva timamvazazi bambo anthu amene amapita kundithuka panga za nsombazo abwera nazo akazigulitsa koma situzozo zoti azimayeso nawonso atenga role yomweyo.
Yeah. You
panopo
know,
ndi nkhani ya agendayo.
thank you. Because I was about to say, Odin, as much as we're looking at having no gender bias, there are challenges that come with that core. And clearly, my challenges were kararibo. Antua, naonso kubanga chiro yomwe nzibambo kubanga. But still in the same space, they're also being at their risk. So it's so if we're going to allow that to happen, if we're going to make room for that, we also need to create my mechanism what is into those taken because we don't want lazy women, right? We want people that can contribute to their families, and so that it is
interesting. Meanwhile, let me just say that Raymond Ligambali and Chancellor Nozabanda will bring you more of this story in Green Cafe, just to highlight. That's one of our very environmental programs if you're looking to find out what is happening within the earth.
In depth. Yeah.
All right, looking at the time, we need to jet off. It's a beautiful morning. Indeed. It could be more beautiful if you watch the news after this as well. My name is Paul Tembo.
And it's Ruth Kulaisi. Thanks everyone for joining us. We will be back tomorrow morning. Have yourself a fantastic day. Don't forget, we are living in a global village, so everything that's happening around us will eventually affect us. Keep your eyes open and see what part you can play. We'll see you soon.
Goodbye.